This smells so wonderful, and I'm sure it's going to taste delicious. I can't wait to try it. This tastes exactly like my mama's homemade sauce, where she spent 3-4 hours stirring it stovetop, and here in about an hour, I have the same incredible, authentic Italian flavor. Join us on this wonderful Mexican adventure, as we will be introducing at least one video a week, and we really want you to join us. Hi, I'm Stella V, and today we are doing an amazing twist on an Italian classic. I'll be showing you how to make a delicious pork ragu using the Instant Pot. And instead of taking 3 or 4 hours stovetop, the whole entire sauce will be made in about an hour. The star of this sauce, we're using chunks of pork, and the cut of pork can be chuck or rump or shoulder, anything that has some marbling and some fat in it. The pork has been cut into 2 or 3 inch pieces. You can get your butcher to do that, or you can do that yourself. I've seasoned the chunks with salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. The other ingredients that we'll be using are our seasonings: garlic, basil, and oregano. We also have the magic 3 mirepoix, or in Italian, it's referred to as sofrito, which is our chopped onion, celery, and carrots. This is a classic red sauce, so we're using a great tomato base, 2 tins of tinned tomatoes, and because I'm in Mexico, tomatoes in tins are pretty hard to come by. I've actually processed these tomatoes myself, and I'm excited to be using them. Along with the tomatoes, some tomato paste, red wine, and a little bit of water. As with any good sauce, we'll be building layers of flavor, and we're starting by browning the pork. We can do that in the Instant Pot simply by pressing the saute button and loading the pork into an oiled pan. As you can see, the pork is getting nicely browned, and it is easy to turn over once it is browned, and that's how you know. And what we are really doing here is building all that wonderful flavor into the sauce. Growing up in my Italian household, every Sunday morning meant that we could smell the beautiful aromas of Sunday red sauce being prepared stovetop. This would mean that there would be a variety of meats simmering away for 3 or 4 hours, and we knew that at the end of that we'd have a delicious pasta dish. All of the pork chunks are beautifully browned and ready to be removed from the pot, and we're just going to place them in that little side dish. Now it's time to add our onions, our celery, and our carrots. Give it a good stir, and we're going to let these cook for about 3 or 4 minutes until they're soft. And now we're adding 4 cloves of minced garlic. And we always add it a little bit later than the onions because we don't want that garlic to burn. The garlic has been cooking for about a minute, and now we're going to deglaze the pot using a half a cup of red wine. We're going to let that cook stirring for about 3 minutes. We're making sure that there's nothing stuck to the bottom of the pan. After about 3 or 4 minutes, it'll be time to add the rest of the ingredients. Now, if you don't want to use red wine to deglaze your pot, you can always use a little bit of chicken stock with some balsamic vinegar. It smells wonderful already. And you can see the vegetables are now cooking down. The vegetables have cooked down nicely, and we'll be adding all that beautiful tomato. I'm so excited about this tomato puree because I've made it from fresh tomatoes here in Mexico. And to this, we're adding 4 ounces of tomato paste. I'm giving everything a stir and putting in our spices. Dried oregano, about a teaspoon, and dried basil, about a teaspoon. 4 ounces of water just to thin it down a little bit. And again, make sure that you've scraped anything that might be sticking to the bottom of the pot. Time to cancel the sauté function and put that beautiful meat chunks back in. Along with all of the juices. Everything is flavor, and we're making sure it's going to be in the final sauce. A beautiful red meat sauce. This is going to turn into a pork ragu that we will be serving over pasta. Ready to put the lid on, lock it in place, make sure the knob is turned to sealing, and we'll be pressure cooking this for 40 minutes. And thank you to everyone who's already subscribed. Love to hear from you. And if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let me know how you're doing and if you're enjoying these recipes. And if you like these recipes, in the description down below there's a link. Just click on that, it'll lead you to the full recipe. Our pork sauce has now been pressure cooking for 40 minutes. It's complete, and it's counting up now to 15 minutes natural release. 40 minutes in the pressure cooker gives you time to enjoy your family, do other things, rather than spending 3 or 4 hours stirring a stovetop sauce. We've now released 15 minutes, and I'm going to turn the knob to release any remaining steam. Oh my goodness. I wish you could be here to smell the wonderful aromas coming from this pot. It's a beautiful pot of bubbling red sauce filled with chunks of gorgeous pork. I've removed the pork chunks to a dish, and I'm simply using 2 forks to shred the pork and making it like a pulled pork ragu. The pork is so tender, and it just, with very little effort, falls apart into these beautiful shreds. In Tuscany, wild boar is abundant, and they do this recipe using wild boar over pappardelle, and that is such a traditional Tuscan dish. Today we're doing the pulled pork ragu, and we're going to be serving it over fettuccine. The pork is shredded, took a few minutes, and now I'm putting that back into that beautiful red sauce. I can't wait to taste it. It smells absolutely delicious. We're going to pour this beautiful meat tomato sauce over. I have spinach fettuccine today, and of course we're going to be finishing it off with some Parmesan cheese freshly grated on my Microplane grater. Microplane, my favorite tool in the whole kitchen. It effortlessly makes your Parmesan cheese snow. And if you would like to learn more about Microplane products, there's a link in the description that links you to Amazon, where you can see the full selection of Microplane products. This smells so wonderful, and I'm sure it's going to taste delicious. I can't wait to try it. This tastes exactly like my mama's homemade sauce, where she spent 3-4 hours stirring it stovetop, and here in about an hour I have the same incredible, authentic Italian flavor. And here's the next video that you should watch. Come cook with me. I'm Stella V.